Hello everybody, this is Brisbane05 Blast here and welcome back to another video of this channel. In this last episode, we sadly suffered our defeat against Fulham in the Carabao Cup round of 16 match, and thereby we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. But it actually doesn't matter because in the last episode I did say that the only focus for this thing is basically to win the Premier League and the Champions League. And we already won a domestic cup, and that was the Community Shield where we defeated Man City. This time, we're actually going to be in the Premier League this time only to verse Newcastle United. Yep, we're going to verse Newcastle United, either at Emirates or at St. James Park. Either one of those. I haven't actually, taken a look where. My memory is sometimes bad when it comes to, FIFA. But, I mean, I have a good memory, but sometimes it doesn't click at the right time. But, you know what I mean. So, yeah. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I really beg you to please make sure to like and subscribe. I don't really like to beg. It's not really like my type. I don't like begging, but is the only way to actually let my channel grow, and that's why I'm recommending you to please subscribe to my channel, as it really means a lot to me. Without further ado, let's enjoy this Premier League match. Alright guys, we're here to see Newcastle United versus Arsenal. Yup, and as you can see right here, it's at St. James Park. So we're actually going to go on an away match. This time in Newcastle, so we're going to take a look at the news. As we get to see Arsenal take on Newcastle here. It's a battle between two of the clubs in the pursuing pack as Newcastle United hosts Arsenal in the league. The 3 points look vital to both as they attempt to close the gap on the teams above them at the top of the table. Newcastle United know that only a win will do for them as they play catch-up. Arsenal meanwhile know that a point wouldn't be a bad result, but they'll be chasing victory nevertheless. That's the same thing. We should see a positive open game of football. Alright. Let's go to match day. I'm pretty sure that there is. I was surprised to see that there would be a press conference, but I don't think there is today. So, looks like we're actually going to verse one of our former Arsenal players, but this guy's on loan. Yup, we have Alexander Isak, Barnes, Murphy, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, Marcus Acuna. I think that he's one of the signings from Sevilla. Shar Kivior, I think, on loan. He's actually on loan from Arsenal. Kieran Trippier and Pope. And then we have Livramento, Anthony Gordon, Longstaff, Dubravka, Almiron, Wilson, and Sven Botman. So, yeah. And let's go to kickoff here. Oh, sorry, guys. Yep, there's the kickoff. And we rested all our players, so everyone is fit. So I'm pretty sure that we expect to win from here because, come on, this is Arsenal, so we expect to win. And before we get this thing started, we're going to take a look at their tactical and see where they are at the in the points table. First, we're going to take a look at their tactics. So they're gegenpressing too. They always look to press high, trying to win the ball back in the opposition third. And their key defensive players is Joe Linton. However, they don't have their key attacking players. So we could actually be one of the danger. We could actually, try to take advantage. And now let's take a look at the standings. Oh, I don't want to go here. There it is. Alright, standings here. So we're currently in 5th place, whereas Newcastle are actually in 13th. But if they get a win, they get to 11th place, probably in the mid. But if we get a win, we still stay. We have taken 4th place. But still, Aston Villa are in 1st place, surprisingly. But yeah, there would be chances that they could, potentially be destroyed. But yeah, like I said initially, our main objective is to win either the Premier League or the Champions League. Because Arsenal have not won the Premier League. Well, I mean, they have won the Premier League, but for the past 20 years. And Newcastle, and in terms of Champions League, they have not won a single Champions League in history. So, it's going to be a battle between the gegenpressing teams. And looks like, I think, we're ready for this pulsating match. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's enjoy this game. Alright guys. We have Arsenal versus Newcastle, or technically Newcastle United versus Arsenal, right here in the St. James Park Stadium in Newcastle. This might be Newcastle United's famous theme song. if you haven't got it correctly here. But yeah, this could be their theme song. And everyone's actually praising. The Newcastle United fans are actually praising. And here's our familiar player, Jacob Nketiah, who's actually on loan to Newcastle. And here's Alan Shearer right there in the poster here. But I'm pretty sure we will get him back. So there's nothing to worry about. So let's take a look at Newcastle United's starting lineup. They have Nick Pope, the goalkeeper. Jacob Nketiah, Kieran Trippier, Sven Botman, Marcus Acuna, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali, Jacob Murphy, Alexander Isak, and Harvey Barnes. So yeah, looks like Eddie Howe is the manager and Sandro Tonali is the skipper. And looks like everyone's rested after their Carabao League. You know, they rested for the Carabao League because they knew that it's not that important. Their only focus is the Premier League. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for Arsenal. So Aaron Ramsdale is the keeper. Gabriel, Alexander Zinchenko. Everyone is actually here. So there's no introduction needed here for Arsenal. No changes made. I mean, there have been changes, but you know what I mean. But yeah. Renarsson, who had a disaster class in the Carabao Cup, is thereby rested. Well, he's not rested, but he's back in the substituted. And we really need to get a backup goalkeeper just in case if one of our goalkeepers, you know, is a traitor here. And looks like Newcastle United are actually going to be kicking off first. I don't know why, but that's how the game is. And we actually need a win here because Newcastle United, yeah, sure, they look good. But we look better than them. We look better than them. Sure, they got our player Jacob Nketiah, but we have Gabriel Jesus. And when you have Gabriel Jesus, there is no problem. As Gabriel Jesus opens the account with a goal to put Arsenal in front. So, sorry to be biased at that moment because I just love the atmosphere, especially from the Newcastle United fans, and I get pumped up easily. So, yeah. But Pope tried to save this one, honestly, but Jesus' shot is too good, honestly. When you have Gabriel Jesus, you know that things could go rout for the opposition. Well, sadly, he couldn't come to his aid in the previous match, which is the Carabao Cup against Fulham. But it is how it is. But anyway, they already got one trophy to their name, and that is the Community Shield. But let's not get sidetracked as Arsenal take the lead for the time being. History beckons as Jesus is one of them. And here's Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes shoots. And he scores the equalizer. Like I said, Newcastle United are not going to be getting away with this. They're also one of the toughest teams. I mean, because of Alan Shearer, obviously. Alan Shearer might have actually got the lucky charm to all the Newcastle United supporters and the team. But what a sprint here from Guimaraes. Ramsdale too late. He could have at least made a save, but and plus he was actually rested, so I wouldn't say I would expect that much from Ramsdale. I know he's a pretty good goalkeeper, so yep. Looks like we're back in all square with 1-1. Martinelli has it. Still Martinelli. Still Martinelli, who's been a fraud all season. And he's not even got a single goal here. I mean, he has done well in terms of assist. But as a goal poacher, he's not that good. And this could be trouble. Alexander Isak breaks through the Arsenal defense. And this could be a rout. But Ramsdale somehow collects the ball from Isak. And he goes long. And Jesus has it. Yeah, he does. Barely. Still Jesus. There's still space. Newcastle are actually giving too much space to Jesus. That's why Jesus is easily breaking. Well, now he gets nicked at the last minute. And Pope collects the ball. And he goes a bit short. Kamavinga somehow steals it from him. Or intercepts it. Passes to Saliba. Saliba finds Ben White. Still Ben White. Still Ben White. Ben White finds Jesus. Jesus tries to connect it, but Pope saves this one easily. And that could have been a chance for another blocking interception, but this time they have it. Newcastle have it. It's Joe Linton. Finds Harvey Barnes. Back to Joe Linton. Joe Linton finds Isak. Alexander Isak. And Arsenal got completely crumbled right there. Saw their defense was like napped, caught napping here. Two of the defenders fell. And here's Isak. That could be a chance here for Newcastle. But Ramsdale pulls up a save. When you have Ramsdale, this could be good. Because Runarsson, yeah, he makes some few saves, but just not at the right time. And we have a corner kick here for Newcastle. And Sandro Tonali is actually going to be taking the proceedings in terms of set piece. And there's a backup player. I'm pretty sure that would be Harvey Barnes. It is. Harvey Barnes is actually the supporting player. Still Harvey Barnes. But Kai Havertz tackles him. Finds Ben White. Ben White finds Martin Odegaard. Odegaard finds Jesus. Still Jesus. But what a tackle. But it's still with Arsenal because there's no Newcastle United supporting player. And here's Martinelli. Still Martinelli, or is it Havertz? It's actually, wait, I'm confused. Who is it? But it doesn't matter as Newcastle somehow get the ball here from them. And now here's Isak finds Joe Linton. But Saliba with a good block. Trying to attempt for a back pass, but Saliba intercepts it. Havertz crosses it. Finds Odegaard, but just couldn't connect it at the right time. He feels distraught there because he knew that that was his moment. Could have been a chance here for Odegaard to put Arsenal in front. And it's going to be a goal kick here for Newcastle. Goes long. And that was a connected pass here. Here's Joelinton. Still Joelinton. Finds Tonali, Sandro Tonali. Still Tonali. Finds Isak. Isak shoots, but Ramsdale saves this one. Newcastle are actually trying their best to get in front, but Ramsdale's too good for them. Too bad he couldn't save the early one. But he does make a save this time. And it's another corner kick here for Newcastle. We're already in the 40th minute. And it's already been locked with 1-0 with Gabriel Jesus scoring. And then a goal from Bruno Guimaraes. And now here's Sandro Tonali. Crosses it. Could be a chance. But Ramsdale saves it again. Eddie Howe is somehow happy about this because Newcastle are actually constantly putting pressure on Arsenal. Ramsdale has to pull up a save. And now this time, I thought that he's thinking of going long, but Harvey Barnes this time supports. This time he actually does go long. But Kamavinga somehow gets it away. Finds only to find Murphy. Murphy finds Tonali. Still Tonali. This could be trouble. But Ramsdale somehow saves this one. How is Ramsdale doing? He's making a lot of saves. And now here's Martinelli. Finds Havertz. Finds Kamavinga. Here's Kamavinga. Still Vinga. Still Vinga. Kamavinga shoots, but Pope saves this one. And Arsenal get their first corner of the game. But in that early attack, that could have been a chance for Newcastle to get into the lead at the stroke of halftime. But what a last minute save here from Aaron Ramsdale. And now they have a chance of their own. Arsenal have a chance of their own. With Saka actually going long this time. But Newcastle clearing it away. And that is the end of first half. As none of them have been separated. There have been two early goals this game. With a goal from Gabriel Jesus. But Bruno Guimaraes cancelling the lead. As it stands with Arsenal 1. Newcastle 1. I said it the opposite, but you know what I mean. But looks like we're actually going to be taking a look at the highlights here with Gabriel Jesus opening the account with a goal. But then sadly Bruno Guimaraes actually equalized it. It was a powerful shot. Actually with his weak foot. If you know what I mean. That's his weak foot. He scored. And then Newcastle somehow tried to get in front. But Ramsdale comes to Arsenal's aid here. And then Kamavinga had the chance to put Arsenal in front. But Nick Pope saved this one. at the last minute. It didn't show the early one. That's where Arsenal crumbled their defense at the last minute. But Newcastle have actually been the ones dominating with shots and possession. But can we? Can we somehow do it? We don't know. Looks like we're going to not make changes for the time being. Arsenal are actually going to be starting with the kickoff at second half. It's already second half already. So Odegaard finds Saka. Saka finds Vinga. Vinga finds Gabriel. Still Gabriel. Gabriel finds Zinchenko. Zinchenko. Still Zinchenko. Still Zinchenko. Still Alexander Zinchenko. Zinchenko shoots. And Zinchenko scores. What a moment from Alexander Zinchenko, who has mostly been doing defending all day. But we didn't expect him to score. No one has expected Alexander Zinchenko to actually be in the score sheet. That is insane from Zinchenko. And looks like Arsenal retake the lead. Looks like there will be substitution here for Arsenal as Gabriel comes off for Hurrien Timber, who's basically been as a backup centre-back.
Goal for Arsenal, number 35, Alexander Zinchenko.
But Newcastle are looking ruthless whenever we score a goal. And that is his first goal of the season. Zinchenko's first goal in 11 matches. But then again, he's a left-back, so defenders often score fewer goals than how they're defending. But here's Jesus. This could be a chance for Jesus to score a brace, which he does. I cannot believe it. Arsenal, they have an insurance goal and they do an iconic goal celebration at St. James Park, pissing off Newcastle United fans. But what a run here from Jesus. This guy he's a machine. This guy's really a machine, man. Looks like Arsenal get their insurance goal. And what a time to actually get it. Because now this will only put Newcastle a bit more pressure. That's actually his 18th goal in 11 matches. Now here's Joe Linton. Still Joe Linton. Still Joe Linton. This could be a chance for Newcastle to at least get one back, which he does. But Arsenal really needed that insurance goal because they knew it wasn't enough. And looks like Jesus will most likely take a breather here. They don't want to push him too hard. He's done well. So there will be a substitution coming right up after this celebration here from Newcastle. There was a goal from Joe Linton, another Brazilian. So it's all been Brazilians that have actually been scoring. Guimarães and Joe Linton. Ramsdale sadly could not save this. He has done well, man. Can't blame him, but he has done well. So it looks like Jesus will not be the one to be getting a hat-trick as he is going to be subbed off for Nketiah. Well, Nketiah looks as not a good player here because, yes, he scored a lot of goals, but he's not been that consistent, basically. And that's Joe Linton's first goal in 8 matches. Not getting that much game time. Here's Saka. Still Bukayo Saka. Saka shoots, but Pope saves this one. And what a time to actually do that. And now Isak comes off for Wilson. Arsenal looking to build up here. They knew that one more goal could really put them in another comfortable position. Saka does with a corner here, but just gets blocked. But Nketiah actually, not Kamavinga, he actually gets the ball. Still Nketiah. Nketiah shoots. And that was actually one of the weakest shots I've ever seen from Nketiah. I know he's mostly been a much of a goal poacher. I've actually underestimated Nketiah here. But mostly he has done well as a super sub, honestly. But not as an actual starter. But we're going to take a look at the highlights here. Not highlights, but we're going to take a look at how Nketiah scored it. So it was actually a pretty weak shot here. Yep, that was his weak foot. As Pope tries to save this one, but it was too late. Because it wasn't that powerful, if you know what I mean. So Sven Botman comes off for... I don't know, but we'll see about this. But Nketiah, finally on the score sheet. Well, I've been underestimating Eddie Nketiah. So Murphy goes off for Anthony Gordon. Botman comes off for Shaw.
Number 7,
Bukayo Saka comes off for Declan Rice.
Number 41, Declan Rice.
This could be a chance for Arsenal to at least get the win. They needed it. And how is Barnes? Harvey Barnes. Still Barnes. Finds Joe Linton. Joe Linton finds Wilson. Wilson finds Guimaraes. A tiki-taka here, but Ramsdale saves this one at the right time. And Newcastle are making another change. And it's going to be a former Arsenal player, Kiwior, for Lascelles. Jacob Kiwior. Well, anyway, once his loan finishes, he could come back to Arsenal. We don't know if it's either a 1 year or 2 year, but either way, it's a corner kick here for Newcastle, but Martinelli for this time blocks it. Arsenal are looking cruise from here on. Here's Martinelli. Still Martinelli finds Declan Rice. Arsenal have not made that much passes. It's been Newcastle, but Arsenal are somehow ahead. Here's Declan Rice. Declan Rice finds Havertz, and Havertz just finishes this one. And he does his iconic celebration. Dancing like a dancing mermaid here. Mermaid celebration here from Kai Havertz. But that's a wonderful assist here from Declan Rice. Arsenal are really putting pressure on Newcastle ever since the goal from Zinchenko, his first goal actually, then brace from Jesus, a goal from Nketiah, and now a goal from Kai Havertz, the vice-captain.
Goal for Arsenal, number 29, Kai Havertz.
Here's Kai Havertz. Well, Kai Havertz has now been on the score sheet. He has also not been much of a goal poacher, but that's because he's a midfielder. Eddie Nketiah is basically a striker, but this time he does get a goal. But we kind of need a backup. We cannot probably use Nketiah for these type of matches as a starter. So Newcastle's next match against Bournemouth, and Nketiah just finishes it off. He scores a brace too. Nketiah proves the doubters wrong as he scores a brace. He could have honestly been there to support. He could have honestly been there to do well in the Fulham match, but he would probably do well as a super sub. Scores a brace. Pope could not even save it. He just stood there like nothing happened. So Nketiah gets a brace.
Goal for Arsenal, number 14, Eddie Nketiah.
Looks like Arsenal will be winning from here. There's no way they're going to crumble this up. A 4-goal lead will most likely be enough for Arsenal. Here's Declan Rice. Still Rice. Finds Ben White. Ben White finds Odegaard. Still Odegaard. Still Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard shoots but gets blocked. And Pope. This could be a chance here for Arsenal. Oh my goodness. That was a defensive error here from Newcastle, but somehow they couldn't score from here. Pope collects it at the right time. Now here's Bruno Guimaraes. Still Bruno G. Finds Harvey Barnes. Here's Barnes. Barnes tries to find Guimaraes, but Camavinga somehow takes it away. Saliba somehow is fatigued. Finds Havertz. Finds Camavinga. Here's Camavinga. There's still much space. He finds Declan Rice. Declan Rice does a cross, and Odegaard just finishes it up with a header. And this is an exclamation mark. Arsenal has an exclamation mark on Newcastle. Put an exclamation mark, I would say. But that's an icing to the cake, as Odegaard, that's another assist here from Declan Rice. Odegaard scores it with his header. And that's how Arsenal are now the winners for this game. So the captain gets the goal. And this would be game, set and match. Arsenal finally get the win they needed. They have back-to-back wins in the Premier League. They got to win against Chelsea. They got to win against Sheffield United. And now Newcastle United. Nketiah scored a brace. Jesus scored a brace. Havertz scored once. Zinchenko scored once. Odegaard scored once. Newcastle did actually try to pull pull a late threat in the first half, but it wasn't enough as Ramsdale finally made some vital saves. As we see in full time, it's Arsenal 7, Newcastle 2. We are going to be seeing the highlights as Nketiah proving the doubters wrong, scoring not once but twice. Scores with his weak foot, I would say, because this is basically like a pinnacle to most Arsenal fans supporters, for every Arsenal supporters and players. And then obviously Havertz scoring the goal. And then Nketiah on a breakthrough scores a brace. I kind of probably dotted him wrong. Maybe we could use Nketiah maybe for Carabao Cups. Or if not, maybe as a super sub. And Odegaard finishing it off with a header. That's how Arsenal finally gets the win here they needed. It's going to be a post-match interview here. I cannot wait to see what Mikel Arteta has to say here.
Just a couple of questions for you.
Here's Arteta. Did Saliba look like his old self today? I think you've got to recognize the lad's resilience. He knows he's been struggling in and out of the team, but he's kept his head down, worked hard, and today he got his reward. The headlines after today will be all about Jesus' stunning performance and his 2 goals which sealed your victory. What are your thoughts about his star man? The 2 goals were probably what won us the game, but there was so much to admire about Jesus' performance today. He's strong, committed, skillful, and a real team player. That ended up being a very comfortable 90 minutes for your team. Very impressive, but very surprised it wasn't a more difficult game. People will look at the scoreline and our strikers will get the headline, but our defending was excellent today. We never let Newcastle United get any into kind of rhythm, and that meant our attacking plays were obviously good. We don't know, but yeah. Alright guys, that concludes our match against Newcastle. And looks like our next game, it will be against Bodo Glimt. We actually had a loss to them. But can we get it? But can we get the win this time? Gonna see a look at the news here. And as you can see, Gabriel Jesus, the pace setter. Another Premier League news. Arsenal triumph over Newcastle. Two of the teams fighting to get to the top of the table met, and it was Arsenal who emerged victorious against Newcastle United. They'll hope the win will be a springboard to get off on a run of form in order to close the gap at the top. And then obviously Odegaard goal seals Newcastle, and then pace setter. 18 goals, 32 is a competition record. Projected goals, 11 matches, 1.64 goals per match. This guy is a real pace setter, I would say. Now let's advance. It looks like our match will be up against Bodo Glimt. We don't know if our players are fit though. We need to check. Well, somehow they were, but Saliba seems a bit low. Kai Havertz, Kamavinga, Odegaard. They all look low actually. But we'll see if we can somehow cement our top spot. We don't know. Because a lot of players are actually trying to give everything. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back for our next episode. Goodbye. Hello guys, we're back, and just as we witnessed, we somehow got a triumph over Newcastle. It's been ages since we actually had a one-setter win over them. But anyway, well, I mean, it's not been ages. We've always been comprehensively beaten, but, beating teams, but not in a very close manner, I would say. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one because this has been a pinnacle here. We get to see Zinchenko scoring his first goal of the tournament or season. And Nketiah proving the doubters wrong. And then Jesus scoring a brace. Odegaard and then Havertz. The list goes on and on. That's how Arsenal are this good. They're now in the top 4 again. But can they actually replicate it? Because they don't want to be a top 4 team. They just want to go for the Premier League spot. Like if Arsenal win either the Premier League or Champions League, one of them, or basically both, if Arsenal can try going for a double, try to win both, this could be good. But well, not this season because they're in the Europa League. But we'll see. If Arsenal wins the Premier League, the video doesn't end. But if they win the Champions League, then the series do end. But if they do win the Premier League, it doesn't end from here. But if they win the Champions League, it ends. So yeah, just to let you know that. But I really hope you enjoyed this one. Our next game is our 4th Europa League match as we take on Bodo Glimt again, but this time from home. We're at our home at Emirates Stadium. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. So please make sure to like and subscribe. This is Brisbane 05 Blaster here, signing off.